Pantheon, the greatest show of 2024 that came out 2 years ago that no one is watching.
No one told me it was there.
Obviously, that's hyperbolic, right? Some of you who are watching this probably have seen it, both seasons. We fell into it by recommendation of our good friend, Amber.
Quick shout out to our friend, Amber Medina. She's also an author, and we should be able to link her, but definitely check her out stuff. Great recommendations. Keep them coming.
So this show, Pantheon, it is... And I say the best show of 2024 because obviously we weren't there for the front line. We weren't the vanguard of seeing it. And I've seen a couple of videos, and that's the problem. A couple of videos from 2 years ago that's I'm begging you to watch this. And it's so weird how algorithms and social media works and how we weren't served Pantheon hype.
Well, I'll tell you what it is right now. It's on AMC Plus, so that's where it came out. So,
yeah.
I don't have that. I'm not paying for that.
Yeah. They also didn't market it very well, too, right?
Watching this, I had the same feeling of watching Arcane, where I was I needed to get through it, and then you're just thinking about it afterwards, man, that was so good. Same feels.
Just wherever I am, I was trying to watch the show.
Yeah, I watched the first season in one sitting. I had Marvel Rivals to play.
Yeah, I think it was 2 sittings for me with season 2. Netflix picked up the first season, and Amazon Prime Australia and New Zealand picked up season 2. And you can watch it there if you're there, but I'm sorry, I'm in LA. I need to watch it. So shout out to the person that provided it on YouTube.
There's a problem with the YouTube watch, but
oh yeah, we got some supernatural music replacement.
The gorillas start, and then all of a sudden it cuts because they don't have the rights to play it. But it is what it is.
Which is part of the charm of Pantheon, because it's very, very unapologetic about using real world analogs. In fact, it doesn't use real world analogs. It literally says, I'm Googling it right now, or I'm using Google Earth. At one point, someone says, I love you, and then the other person says, I know, and then it's not a huge reference. They don't call it out, but they're like, you're a big nerd. And we know that because we're Star Wars geeks, and so I appreciated all of those references and their willingness to go into those areas, because if you're an anime fan or if you're a fan of shows that love to create analogs, you're Whack Donalds. The writing of Pantheon I found to be brilliant, inspired, transcendent. Yes, but this show, the writing itself reminds me of a show that was on Amazon Prime called Upload, and it was a dramedy, or more of a comedy. It was a sitcom with Robbie ML, where the premise is he gets into a car crash, but there is the technology that exists where you can upload yourself. It delves deeply into the ethics and the morality, intelligence portion of this whole discussion.
So without any spoilers, essentially we have a main character, and she gets a secret message from someone that's claiming to be her deceased father through the computer, and that is the catalyst that happens at the beginning that kicks off this whole story. And it's all about the idea of, if you uploaded your consciousness, are you still you? And it's a very Ship of Theseus type conversation, but it heads in a bunch of different directions of well, what does that look like? What are the limitations to someone whose mind is in the cloud, right? Because they wouldn't have to rely on human speech or anything physical. So could you do things faster? Would it be slower? What are the ramifications politically of being capable of doing this? What's the morality of putting someone's consciousness in the cloud if it requires that person die? Did you kill them? Are they still alive? Is that the afterlife? There's so many questions that touch on the science of it, the technology of it, but the philosophical applications, the political ramifications, Now are different governments going to have uploaded people to do cyber warfare? Like, what does this all mean?
And that's where the writing shines the most, because I found myself watching this show and just kind of like surface level thinking, oh, okay, so this is like AI, or like this is a philosophical piece on consciousness and like what does it mean to be alive. But then like it veers in so many different directions, as you just mentioned, with like the geopolitical aspects of it, and even like the commercial aspect of it, when it touches on like the capitalism stuff and the free markets, and just everything about this show is just really, really well written, and all of the plot twists were truly twists, and it's not something that you expect from animation. But I feel like Pantheon should have gotten a lot more attention, should be up there, and I personally put it up there for 2024 too. If you have not seen Pantheon, do it immediately.
Please go watch it.
And come back to this video and then leave your comments in the comment section, because it is an absolutely fantastic show that I didn't expect to love so much. And when you get to the ending, you'll love it even more. Remember what I said about plot twists? Like, there's a lot of plot twists. And, I love me a story like this. Now, if you know anything about me, my favorite anime of all time is Zegapane. It's not something that's on everyone's list, but it is a show that deals with transferring the consciousness or the human soul into virtual servers, and the existential crisis that comes with that conversation.
Two of my favorite anime are Psychopaths, as well as Ghost in the Shell, the standalone complex. I love that series, and like both of them go right hand in hand with this whole concept. Like the whole Ghost in the Machine. What does that mean? Especially what if you upload your consciousness and then something happens, but they make a copy of your consciousness? Is that still you?
That was one of the biggest questions I really had throughout watching this entire show. If you were to upload, like Choco said, and I don't know, that part of you gets lost, but there's still a backup. And then you like restore, like a Windows restoration, like restore point. Like, is that a different you? Like the word suggests, is that just a copy? How do you treat that? How do you handle that as a family member? The philosophy when it comes to talking about subjects around finite and infinite, or mortality and immortality, is some of the most poignant things you can have discussions on, because it's still a frontier that everyone is still kind of trying to mull over.
I mean, what if you cloned yourself? Is the clone still you? They would have different experiences.
Does the clone look back at you and say, "No, I'm the original"?
It's one of those shows that asks a lot of questions just to make you think, and that's the beauty of art, right? It was truly a very artfully done show where it asks questions and it presents you with all these logic scenarios, and it doesn't answer them for you. It's not going to give you an answer, just like good art does.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about was the animation, specifically the visuals, because it's not something that you expect. It's not something that I expected either. The visualization that we get from coding, programming, living inside this kind of silicon world, it's so unique. And see, this is the thing that I love the most about this show, is that it waxes philosophy on all of these really, really adult and like intellectual subject matters, but it still manages to capture a part of you that wants to be entertained, and it gives you those visuals.
You'll have two uploaded intelligences get into a fight. Are they going to fight with their fists? How are they going to fight? How are they going to show us this conflict and who's superior and who isn't? Also, if your mind is the computer, then it's not like you have to type out sequences. You just know what you want to do and can make it happen, and by pulling out, Gandalf's staff and using it, you're pulling something from a different universe and using its power and ability here, and that's like how that works in the context of the MCU. I don't know, I just think that's a really cool concept. Please watch your show and talk to us about it. We need more people to talk to you about this.
Absolutely.
I want to hear your thoughts.
This show, if I had watched it 2 years ago, I would have rated it the top show of that year. And then season 2, top show of that year too. So because I hadn't seen it until now, it's the top show of 2024 for me. Hands down.
Just watch it and let us know what you think, because it's just a fascinating show, and I could talk about this forever.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to turn on notifications, and leave it in the comments if you want us to do more Pantheon videos as well. Maybe we can eke out a season 3. Maybe we can eke out some more story. I know that it's reached a satisfying conclusion. At least in my opinion, it's a satisfying conclusion. But I don't know if I want anymore. I think they could, though. I think they could. Maybe tackle some other perspectives within the story that we didn't get to see. Mm-hmm. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, do all that good stuff. That's it. On to the next one.
Check out Pantheon, please.
I was like, for light in life.